Good evening, everyone. My name is Dancing Banan. I am here with Nivex, and welcome back to the Meridian Collegiate Conference. And a second day in a row here, a second day in a bit of a streak we have going on this week. We got now the lower round 2 going on, and we got ourselves Michigan versus the University of Kentucky. How are you feeling, Nivex?
Oh, this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one. If you guys were here to catch if you were here to catch the Utah versus Delaware, that was quite the match. This one, I feel like I guess I can't really say it's gonna match those standards because I feel like those are probably pretty high standards, all things considered. But these are two teams that I feel like both of them are pretty hot, and neither of them are gonna be backing down. So we got a real fight coming out here. Kentucky, obviously a new team coming into the league, came in through play-ins just like Michigan, actually. So this is a play-in battle, now that I think about it.
Yeah, it's a play-in battle. It's a really big one because we were talking about it yesterday, and I think mentioned here again. Currently in the bracket, if we could pull it up, we have some very interesting things going on in the lower bracket when it comes to the teams we are seeing in general, right? I believe it is 3 teams coming in from the play-ins, if I can count correctly, and from my eyes, that is Kentucky, Michigan, and Delaware. Yes, 3 teams from the play-ins out of the 4. So play-in teams are making their mark, but obviously one of them are going to go here, but another one's going to be making top 6.
Yeah. I mean, that's really impressive, all things considered, and it's guaranteed by this point because again, we have this play-in matchup coming through here, and truthfully, there is a chance that we have a play-in team. Also, we get another one making it into top 6. We have Delaware going to be facing off against UCF in the other lower round 2 match. But we got one right here that we're going to be dealing with. And, well, whoever ends up winning this one is going to be facing off against Nebraska. It's going to be quite the task. But nonetheless, they do have to get through each other first before they can continue on their MCC lower bracket journey. I mean, we're already getting pretty close to game time. I think it's fair to say. What are we thinking about predictions wise?
What are we thinking about predictions wise? Well, there's a team that I believed in a lot coming into the playoffs. That team was Kansas State. A team that they went to Game 7 against Iowa State. A game that you should go watch if you didn't see it. It is up on our YouTube channel, MCC Official TV. Gotta get the plug in there.
Immaculate plug.
But no, I mean, Kansas State, obviously they lost in Game 7, but they always do that. So we never thought anything wrong there. We thought, honestly, well, unfortunate forever meets them in the lower round 1 because they're going to lose and get sent home early. And we could have seen what could have been a fun run. Michigan decided to flip that on its head and take out the team I thought was going to go all the way to the grand finals. So at this point, fair enough, Michigan. Let's see how far you can get with it because I'm believing that you can go pretty deep here. And I think they're going to beat Kentucky.
Yeah, honestly, I think the same. Not too much variety going to be coming out of here, at least for these 2 casters. But I kind of believe the same. Relative to my predictions, unfortunately, I was a little bit of a disbeliever. I did think that Kansas State was going to end up out of that match, but I had a feeling that whoever won out of those 2 teams had really solid potential to make a deep run. And I think it starts here. Obviously, we had that previous match, but this is the beginning. It was either one of those teams that were going to start really causing havoc down here and really making it difficult for these other teams showing up. Kind of like maybe I guess a dark horse is a fair way to say it, but I believe in Michigan, and I think they're going to do it here against Kentucky.
Yeah, so we got 2 Michigan players here on the desk in belief, and I don't think that's crazy. I mean, honestly, the stats do back it up. I'm going to read some stats here, and, well, they're going to be favoring one team pretty heavily. Michigan versus Kentucky. Shots per game for Michigan, it's 7.85. For Kentucky, it's 6.42. Goals per game, it's a similar story. 2.23 for Michigan, 1.83 for Kentucky. Saves, it's a bit higher over on Kentucky's side by 0.5. But yeah, just in general, the offense is just leaning towards the side of Michigan. And I mean, that's not too surprising when you look at the players that they have. Elro's hitting a 1.2 goals per game. And he's doing that like across multiple games that he's keeping that stat line up. So, I mean, he's the player to watch out for, especially on the offense.
Yeah, well, I don't think we are going to be holding on for too long, as we are having some players getting set up in the lobby, just waiting for the readies to be signaled. And truthfully, one thing that I am at least particularly going to be looking at here is maybe a little bit of aggression. Both of these teams pretty solid. It's going to be whether or not any of them decide to start shaking things up a bit. So we are going to be underway here in a moment. Game number 1. It will eventually be, I believe it's Michigan on the blue side, Kentucky on the orange, as there are moments to getting underway.
Yeah, getting underway as your Zuri can't put the shot on as a demo, though. From the other side, it's going to be Parse putting it off. Can't quite do it, and Blugo. Sorry, is that a sub coming in for Michigan?
It might be. Actually, it might be, yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, there we go. We got the stream up. Sorry, technical difficulty on our end, but you didn't miss anything. Right now, though, it's already question marks over on the Michigan side because we do not see AJ. Wait, sorry, I'm a liar. That's some Michigan.
Yeah,
wait, that's Kentucky. Wait, hold up. Who am I missing? Wait, Chipmunk's not playing. Chipmunk's just chilling in the background.
Oh yeah. Apologies. We're still.
Huh.
we're like.
Wait, hold up. Was Blugo never played? I'm so confused now. Has Blugo never played for Kentucky? No, he has.
I think he has. Yeah.
Yeah, he has. So, okay. I mean, I'm just used to seeing the others on the squad, but right now, it's going to be Michigan that's currently trying to do some offense. Noard is making everyone feel kind of awkward here, and while we're in this corner with low boost for him, it's really not going anywhere for the side of Kentucky.
No, they are definitely backed up into their own corner of Blugo. He's going to take this himself. Does get the touch out. Going to have to grab another one. Zuri able to follow it up, but Elro there to clear it out. This is going to bounce awkward in the corner. It's going to pop straight up. AJ, he's going to stay behind this. That is a miss from one player, but a beautiful follow-up there from Zuri. And, well, there might be some awkwardness on the defense, but with a big clear out, it is going to have to be on the side of Michigan to come up with a massive save. Nodart getting behind it. A shot through. Zuri not able to find it. And, well, this will stall out in the midfield for a moment, but I don't think Kentucky's slowing down just yet.
No, not slowing down just yet at all. It's going to be Zuri, though, taking the catch here, trying to slow this play down, make things a bit more awkward. Nodart's able to clear it out slightly. He's going to make time get better, and it feels like right now Kentucky finally has a chance, and finally they're able to score, and after what was some awkward play from both teams, Kentucky's the one opening it up.
Yeah, right here, I feel like Michigan a little low on boost. I did see some small penny grabs here and there from the last few defenders, but I think they were a little too late to try and make some aggressive dive towards the ball to slow down that solo play, and eventually it does come through. Parse able to get that final touch in. This will be another touch center. Sorry, not able to follow it up. Blugo trying to put it center, but no one's there. Elro might have a shot opportunity. Going to opt for the pass. It's going to be back center. Do we see a 50 to come through? No. Blugo able to push it out, and Nodart, he is going to have to send that to his own backboard. That's going to be a shot on net, but AJ able to follow it. Still in front of the net. Nodart pushing it out, and, well, AJ's going to get a touch forward, but it's not going to last too long, and Kentucky, maybe a little low on boost right now. They're going to have to get it out of their own half.
Yeah, it's right now going to be Noah trying to get something on there. No, Elro actually accidentally pinch it with Blugo. Sends it all the way. AJ, though, is there in standard ectoplasm, but it's going to be him taking it all the way. And from the back of their own corner, is able to score and tie this game up.
Solo plays have been the name of the game right now. Just get a player who has that one touch to get it over someone, and then, well, it's a 1v1, and you know the attacker always has the advantage in 1v1s. If you guys have watched 1v1s, we do show matches every once in a while, so maybe keep an eye out on those. But right now, we have our main 3v3 action, a tied game as well, as that will be a shot on net. Nodart able to get behind it last second. Blugo, he's going to put this backboard, not able to follow it. He's going to be a push off to the side. AJ deciding to take time. He's going to get bumped for his efforts. Still behind it, wasting all of his boost to at least get some kind of touch on it. This will be advantageous for them, as there's a double off the sidewall, but unfortunately, nothing will come of it, and they will have to try to make their own efforts to try and repossess this.
Yeah, trying to repossess. AJ does not get the boost Parse gets. It's actually going to make things so much more dangerous here for Michigan, but thankfully it's just a heavy touch that goes out to Elro. He's trying to get the double. Can they get the... We'll be putting it high. We'll go down. We'll be there first. It will be Zuri. It's gonna be a bit of a slowdown. Past one, does AJ do? Can he get another? He can. Bluego, though, is able to cut it off, and Michigan is slowly getting their foot set here, getting the time locked down, but it's not looking like a proper shot's gonna be able to come through yet.
Oh, well, and I feel like there's one thing we always say this first match, it's a test. Right now, both of these teams are starting to try and get an understanding of each other, and I feel like that's come through pretty clearly as this will be a shot opportunity. It's 1-1, and, well, Kentucky seems to be on the positive end of things. Bluego looking center for Zuri. 2 players up for it. That's going to be off the ceiling. Is that a shot opportunity? Yes, it is. Blue able to slot it in for Kentucky.
Yeah, and it was finally going to come. I mean, it's a double commit from them, and Elro has no boost, playing on the backboard, has to cover because worried about that double tap that would have been indefensible, but unfortunately, his teammates leave him on an island, and well, there's only so much he can do alone. It's now going to be a deficit here for Michigan, and with time remaining, it's going to be a difficult one. With the boost being taken, it's going to be a difficult one. Elro, though, is going to try to do some magic. Can't quite do it with that shot. No Dart's able to stop it, though, at the midfield line. Bluego gets beat out, but it's another steal. The steals in the midfield have been going all the way for Kentucky, making things so much harder, but the moment I say that, there's a shot that gets ripped on and gets saved.
Yeah, beautiful save right at the right moment. We only have 20 seconds left, although Parse, he's going to take this to the blue corner, and he grabs boost too. That is not going to be helpful for Michigan. They might have possession here, but they're going to be pretty low on boost. At least some of their players are. Elro, the only one with 100. He was the one on the ball, but after a Kentucky player stepping in, that will die out, and they've got to take it the whole length of the field in order to do something. That's going to be put into the corner, and no Michigan player can catch up to it. Kentucky taking game number 1.
Yeah, game number 1 goes the way of Kentucky, and, well, there's a lot of things that can be parsed from this game. I think it's fair to say. I mean, first things first, the shot difference is one of the biggest things. Kentucky had double the amount of shots of Michigan. So, that is number 1 that I saw. It felt like, just in the end, it did feel like as much as Michigan was on their side, it just didn't feel like that they were making things happen.
No, I mean, there are still some shot opportunities coming through, because at the end of the day, the scoreline still shows that it was 2-1, right? Even with the fact that Michigan seemed to be on the defense for a decent lot of things. I mean, the stats do say they had an extra 2 saves as compared to Kentucky, which that does a little bit of reflection in the sense that, yeah, they were the ones on defense, but still a close game nonetheless. In this case, Kentucky just ending up to be on a little bit more of the favorable side of things, able to hold on to the pressure more often, able to make that pressure more sustained, and therefore turning it into opportunities. That does mean maybe Michigan needs to look for more counterattack opportunities. Maybe they need to solidify some of the more shots. Quantity over quality is something that a lot of these teams, at least some that start coming to mind, try to focus on. So we're going to have to see if any of that changes coming into this game number 2 on Deadeye Canyon.
Yeah, but right now it's going to be Kentucky trying to take a shot. Bluego instantly scores it, and 3 seconds in, well, Michigan, not going to say it's a nightmare quite, yeah, but it definitely is a bad dream.
Well, you don't want to go down by 2 games, and especially not right at the start of the match. Right now, that's generally when you want to start finding your footing. You want to start getting into things, and, well, 3 seconds into game number 2, you're already down a goal. Not the best look, but luckily for you, you still have 4 minutes and 50 seconds. So plenty of match ahead of you as AJ does get this. Just going to stay behind it. Maybe looking for a flick. That is a bump that's going to come through. It's going to hit the crossbar. Not going to find the back of the net this time. Michigan, they're going to have to recollect.
Yeah, Elro does have control here. He's able to get it past Bluego. Can he get a 50 on Zuri? Well, it'll be fine anyways. We'll get a boost steal. Parse is able to live. It's a double commit now, though, actually, from Kentucky. He's going to make time here. Elro again on the ball, trying to go under. Can't do it. 50's it fine. No Dart, though, gets beat. It's going to be AJ having to take their go at it. Parse grabs the boost. It's their turn. Gets underneath AJ, but no, gets 50'd out. And again, it just feels like as much as they have offensive opportunities here, they really are the ones that are letting themselves be the failures here. It's not Kentucky stepping up when it matters.
Well, I mean, I do like a little bit of a change of pace. I saw a demo kind of sneak through on that one shot attempt that AJ had. So A nice change of pace, something that I think they might need to invest a little bit more time in as AJ sends this up the sidewall. Lugo's going to be there looking center, but no one to respond, so Elro gets a free touch towards the backboard. Elro, he's going to send it there again. That is going to be an awkward shot off of it, but able to push it off to the side. Kentucky going to take it in their own corner, and a massive 50 coming through. Beautiful save, but it's not going to be enough. Elro able to find their first goal.
Yeah, I mean, 50s in the corners are always terrifying for both sides. Unfortunately, this one does not go the way of the orange. Kentucky, they get punished for it, and it's another tied-up game. We saw this again in the last one, and, well, if history were to repeat itself, Kentucky is feeling pretty good about themselves, but Michigan are going to try their hardest to make sure that doesn't happen. Parsay, again, grabs that mid-boost. It's being... I want to know the numbers right now, the duels happening on the mid-boost, because it feels like it is all Kentucky's that they're winning.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Maybe I need to spend a little bit more time watching it because I feel like that's definitely something. Michigan at times feel like they're a little slower to some of these challenges, a little bit more too far behind the ball at moments. That might be because of those boost steals. Although right now they might have an opportunity, but Elro getting demoed the moment he tried to take possess. Notar, he's going to jump on this quickly. Is there going to be someone up? Yes, Zuri immediately there to get a challenge. Not the best touch from AJ, but he is able to get it past one. Elro going for bumps, trying to make this easier for AJ. It might be. He's going to get the flick on. It's going to hit the crossbar. And a chance gone with the wind here for Michigan. That might have been the goal they needed to get themselves back into this series.
Yeah, it's been so often. It doesn't go well, and I mean, it's a nightmare now for them. It's an opportunity gone astray. It's a chance that they've now lost, and it's one that leads to them being the ones on the deficit instead of the lead, and, well, yeah, I mean, game two, it's not looking good for Michigan right now, but there's still half the game to go.
There is still half the game to go. We've managed to meet the score of last game in half the time, so, well,
there it is.
As I'm about to say that, AJ decides,
10-2s.
No, you're wrong. So brilliant shot here from AJ, taking his time, going for that low 50 right in front of the net, knowing that that last defender is awkward, and hey, we're back to a tied game, 2-2-2-2-2.
I think you forgot a 2 in there.
I might have.
2-2-2-2-2. No, you got all 5. There you go. All right, but right now, it's going to be some defense here for Kentucky once more. Elro tries to do it, but gets beat out by Blugo. Parsay, though, is able to collect it on the sidewall. Can they do anything? Drilling for the Musty. It's in the corner still. Pinch will send it out, but there is a coverage there. Zuri gets a beat, actually. He's going to go straight down on Blugo. Can you do something? Ooh. Oh, my word, Blugo. Originally a double commit. It doesn't matter, because whatever he touches is looking like it's turning into gold.
Yeah, an absolutely beautiful recovery onto the back wall there, realizing I can kind of go for a doomsday here, and beautifully followed up to just make sure that that went in. Those Michigan defenders basically had no chance to try and get behind that shot opportunity, and they are going to go down again. This is starting to seem like a pretty common theme, so at some point they got to figure out how to break this cycle, or else they're gonna always be behind in scoring.
Yeah, they're gonna find a way right now. Well, AJ gets a 50 to start things well. Blugo, can he do it? No, he cannot. Elro tries by himself. He's the guy you got to watch out for, but he's being neutralized pretty well. No dart, though. Doesn't get a touch, and it does bait out a Kentucky player. Parsay, though, is able to clean it up. It's now AJ's turn. Can they do anything? Gets a pinch. Will go high, but there's no one really there. No dart is a bit too late. We'll get 50 now. It's AJ's turn. Gets a 50. No dart, leaves it. Zuri wasn't ready for it. Shot's not on target. Finally, it's on target. Elro with the second goal to tie it up, and there's still over a minute left in this game, but it's Michigan on the back foot, but they're constantly finding their mark when it matters.
They are finding their mark. I will say, I do feel like it's a little bit too opportunistic, if that makes sense. I feel like a lot of these are like, oh yeah, we're capitalizing on these moments that Kentucky is giving us. Not a lot of them are more developmental efforts by, their own hand. So, I mean, there are some teams that like to play a little bit further back. There are teams that like to play a bit more passive, and it can work out. But truthfully, I don't feel like that's the Michigan that I've seen in the past. So maybe being forced to play a little bit more passive this time around, not going to be the best look for them as they are on defense. That is going to be a touchback. Maybe not exactly what Zuri was expecting, but it is going to be in their half with some time. They're going to stay behind it. Not going to get the touch he wants. No dart with the chance to get a flick, but it's not going to be fast enough, and there will be a challenge to meet soon.
Yeah, 30 seconds, Arrow tries the infield. There's no teammate waiting for him, though, so it means that this play will become slowed down. It will mean that Parsay is able to clear this ball out. Blue goes turn, Nodar gets dunked there by them, but thankfully, there's a teammate behind. Elro has been stepping in strong when this game matters. Gets a demo as well, makes things a bit slower. Final 15. Parsay's trying to control, can't do it. It's going to be still him on the ball, puts it high, and with these final 10 seconds counting, is a 0-second goal going to come out? Is a late goal going to come out? Because right now, Michigan are the ones that are looking like they have a chance. As AJ puts it up high, that's the first start that they need. Bluego, though, is able to take control themselves. Reset misses it out, and it is overtime here on Deadeye Canyon.
Right, first overtime for the series, and if I had to guess, probably not going to be the last, although a little bit more favorable for Michigan. This might be a shot opportunity. Is that going to be on net? It's off the crossbar. Elro not able to read it, but Nodar, it's there. He puts it on, and he's able to find it just underneath the defenders. And Michigan maybe a little slow to capitalizing on it, but they get there eventually.
You know, Nodar just wanted to share the love around with the goals. That's what I'm going to say. Didn't want the hat trick, was just so selfless for it. But it's a win for Michigan after being constantly at a deficit in the series. Are able to finally take a lead, and they take the lead at the golden goal. But I think a point that you made earlier that I just want to quickly get back to here first off, actually. 13 shots for Michigan. That's a big change. So, I think the big thing, though, you were mentioning, Michigan. We haven't really seen them this season in general, playing for the mistakes. You know who we did used to see playing for the mistakes? The old Michigan, the spring Michigan. That was a team we saw a lot playing for the mistakes of the other team. And in the end, I mean, the old Michigan, they had a rough ending. Let's just go with that.
They did.
They got for those who don't, they got reverse swept. If they won the game, they go to the playoffs. If they lose, they're out. They got reverse swept. So, yeah, that was a fun one. Washington State, we remember you. The streets remember. But we're not acting like that this summer, and they might come back into fall. No, but no, yeah, I think Michigan, like you're saying, they were trying to play a bit more for mistakes, and I don't think that's sustainable. Maybe Kentucky will make it sustainable, but I'm not gonna say that is a surefire way to victory. But right now, it's a victory that they got in game 2. But here on Utopia Coliseum, will it be enough to get them their second game and put themselves in the lead in the series?
Yeah, well, hopefully we don't see a goal too quickly. I feel like that has been a theme so far, although AJ may be trying to do that. I will miss that. Elro's going to get a chance to touch this up. He will. 2 players up. No one able to make contact. Zuri's going to be there. We're trying to get a challenge here, but Nodart wisely pushing that off into the corner for AJ to try and collect. He's going to stay behind this. Gets the 50. That is across the field, though. And, well, there's going to be a race to the 50. And in this case, Michigan, they're going to win, and they might get a chance to start developing some offense, but Bluego might have some other words here as he's dribbling, but defended.
Yeah, Parsay, a good infield over to Zuri. Does not get anything, and there's a loss of Parsay. Speaking of, Bluego gets a touch on AJ's ball, but AJ didn't really have boost. Didn't have any issues with that. Nodart, though, gets 50 by Zuri, and that's a bit more of an issue. And Elro's touch somehow gets by a player. It's going to be Bluego doing it all the way himself. Air dribble. Gets 50. It's going to go still into the corner. It actually bounces out low. It's an awkward one, but Nodart's able to cover it. Parsay, they're the ones taking the control. They're going to be dribbling. It gets cut off by Elro, but this ball is not in the safe zone quite yet, but finally Elro is able to make it a bit safer here for Michigan by putting a shot on.
Yeah, well, and he grabbed boost on the way out, too. I think that's something that Michigan, as you pointed out, Kentucky seems to be doing a pretty good job with
Wait, how'd the ball end up there?
Is that
what?
Will be a shot on net. Elro able to capitalize. I think that was a double attempt, I think. And, well, the smoke screen doesn't exactly help us see what's happening here, but nonetheless, Michigan, they're going to go up first.
I think Elro bumped AJ and popped it up, and then Elro was able to follow through. So, you know what? Elro just used his teammate as a bit of a pool. But, you know, they take those. As right now, it's going to be Bluego on the ball, trying to make sure this deficit gets taken away, though has to deal with the AJ in the way. But I think something you were mentioning, yeah, that boost, something we were talking about a bit in the last game. I was able to get the stat for you here. For collected big pads, it does favor Kentucky by average of 8 collected big pads per game. So not crazy significant, but it is noticeable. And the counts of stolen big pads is fairly minimal as well. It's a 1.3 difference go in the favor of Kentucky. But that does mean that a lot of the big pads... Okay, that was almost like a nice goal there. But a lot of the big pads taken are in the midfield. That's where the advantage is coming for Kentucky. And I think that is something that we have been seeing in this games.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it, as Elro might be going for a flip reset here. That is two defenders that aren't able to catch up to it. AJ might be going for a double here. No, Zuri able to catch up. But, I mean, a lot of offensive pressure, a lot of offensive attacks have to start development in the midfield. There are very few teams out there who can capitalize off of something working so far back. So if you have good midfield pressure, if you are able to make sure that teams can't really develop themselves in the midfield, you are going to have a relatively easier time getting what you want done. Like that's a little simplistic to say, but in this case, I do think that Kentucky, at least within those first 2 games, have kind of been doing that a little bit more than Michigan. We are seeing some moments here and there. Michigan are able to grab a boost in the midfield, make sure that if there's any kind of counterattack, any kind of aggression that might be able to come out from Kentucky, they're not able to make it sustained. But, well, this game has been a little bit different. Michigan still up by 1 as Parse, he's going to take this in the corner, get immediately 50'd by AJ. He's going to look for maybe another one, but not quite able to follow that up. That is going to be in the midfield where, well, Michigan have been doing a great job so far this game, although that turnover might be a little dangerous for them. It doesn't look like Kentucky can do too much to respond, as, well, they were a little slow to trying to catch up to that, but they might be developing something here.
Parsons trying to go for the double, can't quite get a Zuri shot. It's going to be way too weak here, and it's an opportunity that was maybe not golden, but definitely had traces of gems in there. But right now, it's going to be a big pitch that goes to the other way. Zuri, though, reads it. It's going to put a shot on Nodart's able to save it. Still centered out. It's going to be Elro getting there. It's going to be Nodart popping in high. Back out to Elro. Goes up high. It's not going to be read by Blugo. It's going to be read by Zuri, though. AJ, though, cuts it off. And with the final minute approaching, it's going to be a double demo here for Kentucky to start opening up their chances.
Yeah, and they need to find it soon. Again, 1 minute left. Elro getting behind this, opting to let a teammate take it. He's going to see what kind of challenge he can make up here. The opponent going for a slow play, able to read it. AJ, he's going to try and clear it, but that's not going to be the best touch in the world. It is going to end up back in Kentucky hands, although with that massive 50, this will be slowed down just a little bit. Elro able to catch that, grab a few boosts on the way out, maybe try and grab a demo. No. Ujay with a pinch, he's in the corner! It is! And Kentucky, they find their equalizer!
Yeah, and it's a big one at an important time. It's the cross field. It's this ceiling pinch into the upper 90 down to tie up the game in the final 30 seconds. 22 seconds left. I mean, Kentucky are able to strike back, but it's Blugo striking back all alone there.
Yeah, I do feel like we have seen a large amount of solo efforts throughout this entire game. Game 1, I felt like the first 2 goals, although Blugo, maybe he's trying to do it again. That's going to be off the post. Is there going to be a follow-up? No! Pushed off to the side by Nodart. He's still in net. AJ waiting on the backboard. Are they going to be able to catch up to this? Elro getting bumped? No, it's going to be sent to the ground, and we've got, yet again, an overtime.
I thought Blugo just pulled something out right there in the final 20 seconds to shut Michigan up, but right now it's going to be Nodart blocking off Zuri's attempt. It's going to be Elro up, gets 50 by Parse. Who's next? It's going to be Blugo, and that's a big worry. It's a big sign. And you've seen anything. The flick, though, isn't quite manageable there for the side of Kentucky, and, well, it's going to be them playing a bit of defense, Michigan, but it should be okay as, well, start there. A heavy touch out to Nodart. He has a bit of time, though. Goes for the pinch. And it's a bit weak, but it's able to beat out one and buy some time for his team to set themselves up.
Yeah, and they do need to buy a little bit of time here. They are taking the corners, collecting boosts. They had some decent pressure going against them, so a nice moment to recollect themselves is what they need, although these touches are kind of working their way past them, even if they're not the most consistent things in the world. Still developing something, still being a problem as that double commit comes through. There is going to be a player under, and that will be right in front of the net, but no one's there to follow it up. Too much pressure by teammates and no one there to realize that there was an open net opportunity.
Yeah, it's the double commits from both of these squads, in all honesty. There's a shot again as we're speaking, but no, it's a double commits. There's times where on the offense, Kentucky's making double commit. On the defense, Michigan's making the double commit, and it makes this very awkward game. Speaking of double commits, there's one right there. And as these double commits happen, it just leaves these massive gaps that neither team can properly fill. So it makes this game wide open for the solo plays that we've been seeing. It's a big explanation for them, but Elra right now is trying to put it down. Can't quite do it. Zuri, shot out. It's going to be AJ, though, cutting it off. Can you go for a sidewall? He's trying to block off Parsey's shot. Can't quite do it. Parsey still on it. Finally gets 50 there by Nodar, and, well, it's taking a slow roll back, and a miss there suddenly means that it might be a bit of offense, but no, it's getting cut off.
Yeah, and it didn't seem like anyone was there too quick to follow it up, although AJ does get there, able to capitalize on some slower play from this Kentucky team. Still no one in the midfield. That might have been thanks to a Parsey demo to make sure no Michigan players could respond to that. AJ, he's going to be taking it to the backboard, not going to get the double on net, but it is a threat on net. Michigan still kind of throwing some punches here and there. The shot total's relatively normal and balanced so far. At least we're only 2 minutes into overtime, so plenty of time for something to happen. That might be a passing play. That is a pre-flick, but off the post. We might see a shot through.
It's a
all three
Ooh,
Michigan players there to make sure that shot didn't go through, and well, they can take a moment to breathe now.
Yeah, triple the chances, some might say, but in the end, it was actually just Nodar sticking with the ball pretty well, even with the triple commit, so threat actually really wasn't there despite the triple commit. Right now, though, it's going to be still defense from the side of Michigan. They actually haven't really found a sustainable offense to just relieve pressure properly, but the moment I say that, I was able to break through. And the bump there finally means that teammate can take over, but it's an awkward touch by Nodar, completely abandoning the play and losing that offensive opportunity that he just had. It's 3 minutes of overtime. Now it's a big block by Elro, and we've been talking about both of these teams. There's been some moments, but it's been a good bit of time now, and neither of these teams actually have found their mark.
No, they are having their moments. We're seeing some chances as this will be in front of the net.
Oh, there it is.
Well, maybe a little bit of caster curse going on here, talking about how none of these teams can find their opportunities. In this case, Parsey able to pass this down to Blugo, who will find that top corner. Kentucky, they're going to take game number 3. I feel like we might be starting to see a pattern here, but I think they like the 1-2 score line, so maybe they're going to try and keep it to that.
Yeah, 1-2 scoreline. This was an odd one. I think it's fair to say. I mean, the only reason Kentucky even got back into this game was because Blugo scored a ceiling pinch in the final 30 seconds. Which, I mean, great shot by Blugo. He almost hit a worldie of a double touch straight after, too. But it's been odd for both of these teams because, I mean, truthfully, neither of these teams are playing at their brightest. I think it's fair to say. We've seen much more from both of these squads. And right now, I think if one of these teams were turning up to the day like they have in the past, this would be a very different story of a series.
Oh yeah. This would be definitely a much different story if we saw that exactly. I feel like it's been kind of, again, a little bit solo. It's been individual efforts that eventually turn into something, not intentional team plays that try to make opportunities. Because how many times I feel like we see this touch try and go center, or we see a ball go in front of the net and no one's there to answer it because it's everyone trying to make that play. It's everyone trying to make the play to get it center. They need to step back a little bit and maybe try and look for those touches middle. They need to try and look for some of those opportunities that everyone is creating. And no one has found that yet. I feel like whoever does might be the one that starts really gaining a lead in this series, as that will possibly be a shot opportunity. No, bouncing off the post, and well, right away we're getting into game number 4.
Well, we're already getting into game number 4, and we're getting into a side of Michigan that's kind of starved right now. It's only Nodart that has boost at the moment, so if something happens, it could be a bit risky, but Nodart's the one that does get the ball. He gets space with the ball, meaning that he can do stuff with the ball. And, well, he's able to get 50 with Blugo, so doesn't do much with that ball.
I can't wait to see him do stuff with the ball. Blugo getting the flip reset here. AJ taking time, seeing that the play, we give him a little bit of whittling out, maybe trying to call bluff on how much boost is, though that is an awkward defender. Massive dunk coming through from Zuri. 2 Michigan defenders up again and again. This Michigan team, when they're on defense, sometimes they're getting too much in front of each other, but a massive save coming through, and that's heading towards net. Is Parsey going to catch up to it? Yes, he will. It is going to be a little awkward, but Blugo, he's there to get that last touch out.
Yeah, Parsey is trying to stick with this ball. Can't quite do it, though. It's going to be AJ trying to do something, maybe a pin job. I mean, it's a bit of a stiffed one right now, as just a bit of a double. I mean, I don't know who's trying to go for these balls right now for Michigan. I've been thinking there, oh, it's Elro, but it's actually AJ, apparently. Sometimes it's just, they're getting in each other's ways. Their rotations are... We'll go with unorthodox. That's not it, is it? Okay. Sure, that bounces out like that. What is going on? Oh, is there a goal? No, Dark gets saved again. We're talking here nonchalantly, but this has been absolute chaos right now. Because right now, I don't know what Michigan's trying to do. No, they're trying to go for the corner double. AJ shot. That one's through, finally. After a bit of chaos, a bit of mania, they finally get a goal.
Yeah, just not the clear that you're looking for if you are Zuri, and in that case, AJ, able to find the right part of the net. That whole net was not open. I believe it was Parse who was going to be back if he shot just a little bit more left. So, beautiful placement there, capitalizing on a good opportunity, as it looks like they might be trying to break out of their own half again. Massive dunk from AJ. It's going to take some time for this to try and get center. It will, but no one there to follow it up. Maybe with 3 Kentucky players diving back, there's a little less faith in that play coming through, but nonetheless, it is going to be these 3 Kentucky players who are now applying pressure on net. An awkward touch coming through. Does Blugo get the touch? No, he isn't able to put it on net, and, well, this attack, it might be sputtering out a bit.
Yeah, might be sputtering out just a bit. Zuri, does he get the boost there? No, he doesn't, but he gets a back pass. It's actually... looks like an AJ first touch there. Can't quite do anything. Elro doesn't get the touch though. It's going to be passed out to No Dark though, who does get it back up high. Zuri though is waiting there already. Will mean that this will stick around for Michigan to do something with it. Just a bit of magic that can't quite happen there as Blue goes able to cut it off. AJ is just waiting, playing the patient. The high flick will be met by that Ecto 1. But right now, it's just sticking around with the low boost here for Michigan. Can't quite put a proper shot on. It's a bit high from Elro. Uses the boost for that. It's not going to be AJ again in this tournament. I feel like I've said that a couple times now on this play. Finally, it's going to be put a bit further back.
I do feel like AJ does a lot of facilitating for this team. I think it's fair to say, especially when he's playing first man. He's one that is not afraid to try and go for, you know, predicting some kind of crazy dunk or something like that. We've already seen that happen a few times as he gets this center to No Dart. Might have been surprised by his own teammate's touch. AJ, again, trying to get the touch, going for a bump here to slow down an offensive player's attempt. Again, just trying to at least slow down, trying to do something to make it so that his teammates' lives are a little bit easier. We see that Ecto flying around the field all of the time, and it's going to have to be him that will really start turning this game around. Massive 50, although I say turn around. They are up by 1, but Kentucky, I do feel like they start having decent moments of possession, decent moments of pressure, a little bit more than Michigan.
Yeah, a bit more, but right now it's going to be Michigan trying to put something on target. It's going to be Elro a bit too high. No Dart is just playing his patient, just waiting, just reading, trying to understand. It's not trying to take the risks right now, but the other side, Kentucky, they're trying to go full send right now. They understand that the pace that they have to put on to make something happen. When they put that pace, they put the acceleration on, it's a bit more difficult, but AJ, with a touch there, we'll just go to the midfield where there's a player waiting from Kentucky, but a 50 there. Zuri, their touch will be very far out, and it's caught by AJ. It's a 30 seconds now for this time, and, well, Michigan's starting to run to the other side of the field.
They are. It doesn't seem like it's going to last too long as No Dart not able to get the 50. Parsi maybe expecting something out of a Michigan player of some kind. There was a few hanging about, but no one there to challenge him. And Kentucky, they're going to try and hold on to this. Blugo not going for the double. This is going to be off of the corner. They're going to have to hold on to this. They're going to have to make this awkward for Michigan because, well, they have to find a goal to even get overtime. And I think No Dart has had enough for this game, at least, to, you know, send it to the ground and tie up this series.
This was a game of all time. This was one of the games. I mean, Elro, crying out loud, Elro had 86 points and they won. This guy was just driving around. He was mowing the grass over there. I mean, they won in the end. He was doing his job. He was doing the 50s. He was centering the ball and stuff. It never once felt like for Michigan that they ever had to truly put proper shots on. They probably should have put proper shots on at times, but in the end, they never really needed to, because in the end, Kentucky's actual attack, they have 7 shots. I'm trying to recall if I've ever felt truly threatened by them, because I really don't feel that.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like that, but Michigan did end up coming out of that game with 4 saves. So obviously there were still some efforts, but the shots weren't majorly threatening. If I feel like that's the kind of vibe that you're going for with that explanation. And I agree with that. I do think that this game is turning into not so much a clash of styles, but a little bit more of a capitalization on mistakes. And right now, I feel like Kentucky, at least that last game, they were the ones making most of the mistakes. So maybe that's a theme that we can be looking for, because Michigan, they are still showing with some double commits here and there, and it is making a problem for them as, well, we have a shot right off the bat. An absolute streamer coming through from Parse.
It's a really good one, Blugo. He's the teammate there. Upper 90. I mean, it's the placement you actually need there so much. AJ would have covered any other opportunity. And first 10 seconds, UKY, they're able to get a goal, and they needed one for a little while now. And, well, it's a good start here. It's an important game for both of these teams, we should mention, because the winner gets match point as they go into Neo Tokyo. So neither of them, they want to drop this one. It's going to be making your life significantly harder.
Loki, I just realized that this is going to be match point for a team. This has been so even, I haven't even thought about match point yet.
It's been a weird series. It's been a very odd series.
It has definitely been a very odd series. As we see a 50 result in the ball rolling into this blue corner, but Elro trying to push it out. Zuri maybe trying to grab a dunk there. Not going to come through fully. No Dart, again, pushing it to that same corner I was just talking about, as it will stay there. Elro going to have to force it out. It's going to be off the ceiling. AJ looking for a teammate. That is a good look, all things considered. I am liking that, as we've seen this game so far be a little bit more of solo play opportunities coming through. It's nice to see some passes back, some attempts for possession, as I feel like Michigan, generally the one who's not really holding on to the ball as much, so a little bit of a good turnaround, I feel like, in that case. But we're going to have to see if it results in something, as that ball is off the backboard. Zuri not able to catch up to it, but it will head out center, as Elro is going to have to get a touch, looking for a teammate. Nodart pops that up to the wall. AJ's going to be there. He's going to be looking backboard, but Blugo there to answer the call.
So the call gets an extra touch as well. Elro, though, is trying to stick around. Demo happens on the back lines, meaning that Zuri, when they get the ball out, it's going to only be met by Michigan, but Parse is able to cut it off. Shot's going to the side. It will be Nodart that's meeting it. Gets underneath Blugo, but Zuri waiting, tries to put it up. It's going to be way too far. It's just going to be AJ trying to do the pinch. Gets it past, but low boost gets past another. It's odd. It's interesting. It's a bit slower paced, but it's stuff that's working out here for Michigan. They'd rather do control than try to get this ball just out and just try to get it past them. And in the end, it's working out for them. But right now, it's another double commit, and something we didn't really mention last game because it was a bit more minimized. This game, though, it might be rearing its head.
Yeah, and I agree with the sentiment of, oh, AJ might have a double here. He's going to go for the bump. I had to immediately cut off my analysis there, because AJ, I guess he plays a lot of ones, able to get it over one, and in this case, there's only one defender. You might as well bump him out of the way. That long car body doing a lot of work there to tie up this game.
Yeah, it's halfway point, and it's still a tied series. I mean, again, reiterating it. The winner here gets match point, and right now AJ, he wants to get them to match point. This ball goes high. It will be met by Elro. Shot. It's going to be off target. There was an opportunity there with a bit of team bumps, and I want to mention it. Elro, he's been a bit more quiet, and he's the guy I said to watch out for in this series. Thankfully, his teammates are stepping up. AJ, he's always been great for the squad. As Elro, the moment I say he tries to put a shot on, will get saved there by Blugo, but if this guy's going to step up and AJ's going to be playing as he is, Nodar's playing as they are, it's going to be a dangerous game here for Kentucky.
It will be, as that's not going to be too good of a touch. Right back to your own net. Not what you want to see, as AJ, he's going to put this backboard. Probably going to leave it for a teammate here, but Zuri able to push it off to the side. And this Kentucky team, they're all on their own backline. They're just trying to collect boosts now. They're all super low. That might be a shot on net. No, right off of the post. Michigan getting them exactly where they want them, but right now, Blugo, he is the one with boost, able to get that challenge. AJ not able to follow it up, and everyone's on the orange half right now. We might have been able to see a chance for a Kentucky counterattack, but not able to spot that opportunity, as this will be heading towards the center of the field. Nodart with the 50, heading it back down to AJ, but too strong of a touch is going to mean Kentucky gets the ball.
It's so odd watching Michigan, man. There's another double commit there that made it so all three of them were on the orange half. It's a bump there from Elro. Elro and AJ. Oh, there's a double demo. It's a bit careful, but no, AJ's able to slow it down. And, well, the spawns come in favor there. Both of them spawned on the right side. But right now, there's actually going to be a center play. Sorry, okay. But again, it's these double commits happening from Michigan. It's making things so much more uncomfortable. How many times now? It's the second or third time I've seen Elro AJ just collide on the play or just get in each other's way when something could be managing there if they were just staying out of each other's way.
Yeah, well, and it's happening everywhere on the pitch too, which I feel like is important to point out. A lot of the times I feel like double commits really, I shouldn't say really only happen, but they tend to happen, I feel like, on defense a bit more, where players feel like there is an absolute need to try and jump to the ball. So maybe some concern coming through from Michigan to try and catch up to this ball as fast as they can, as they will be on the retreat here. Elro, he's going to leave it for AJ, going to get the double to send it forward. Going to be a nice moment to breathe here from Michigan. I feel like I say that a lot, as if they have to really work themselves out of some of the situations they throw themselves in, as we will see a temporary 2v2 here. Zuri jumping on that. Elro gonna opt to send this to the ground. Nodart doing the same, and well, here we go with another overtime.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one here. It's only 2 shots for Kentucky versus the 8 from Michigan. It's very much been a one-sided offensive affair. Zuri gets bumped a bit. It's another double commit, though, but thankfully AJ's able to stick around. Tries to get a 50, able to do so. Last time we saw Michigan on this map, personally, we saw them get a 0-second goal and eventually win it in overtime. They don't need to worry about the 0-second goal, but they do need to worry about the overtime. Right now, though, AJ's got to be worried about the save. Gets it. Zuri's shot will be a bit high. It's going to be AJ there meeting. Can they meet Parse? Well, it doesn't matter because it's not on target. The double, though, might be. It's a bit close. There's no touches. It's going to be a goal for Blue Goats. A goal for Kentucky. It's match point for Kentucky as we go to Neo Tokyo now.
Just a great follow-up there. Nodart probably having a full expectation this is going to be going on net, but bounces off the post beautifully to leave those last Michigan defenders a little bit on their heels. And in this case, well, that's practically an open net. Lugo, let's be honest, with what we've seen him do this series, he's more than happy to take that and say, okay, match point, we're ready to get into this.
Yeah, ready to get into this. But this was such an odd one again. But, I mean, Kentucky, we did not talk about them much in that game. In the end, I think they played their job completely fine. In the end, right? They weren't doing anything crazy, but they were making their marks. It never felt like that they were. There was times they got in each other's way, but it wasn't an insane amount. It was just the small defensive panics. On the offense, they did their job, even if it wasn't particularly threatening offense. Michigan, on the other hand, they have much more of a volume going on in general. On the shots, on the maybe not the saves, on the shots, and on the double commits. It's been happening everywhere, and right now, it's the thing that's going to be biting them, because imagine if they just weren't double committing. Imagine how many more opportunities, how many more threats they could be proposing if they just weren't having that slight issue.
Yeah, I feel like I keep coming back to this, and I kind of don't want to, but it keeps rearing its head. In this case, I feel like some of these games, they're turning into whoever makes the least amount of mistakes is the one who wins, right? Both of these teams are eager to try and jump on opportunities. Both of these teams are waiting for that chance to try and find the right moment to strike, and that is going to come off of, a team double committing. It's going to come off of some strong development in pressure that the other team just can't manage. And in that case, I feel like it was Kentucky that was able to do that. As, there are shots that get thrown towards net. There are opportunities both of these teams develop, but the other team is responding pretty quickly. So it's only major moments where a bump comes through, where a team really starts getting on their heels, that some kind of goal gets thrown in.
Yeah, well, right now, it's actually going to be Michigan on the attack. Parse misses! It's a goal here for Michigan. It's a lead here for Michigan. They're going to need to make sure they hold these type of leads because, well, they still need it to even get themselves on the match point. But I don't know what happened there, Parse, but it happened at the worst possible moment as there's suddenly a deficit for Kentucky, and it's one that they need to resolve here.
Yeah, well, you sit there and you're like, okay, going into match point, this is what we need. We just won the last game. This is a nice way to make sure we're still feeling like we're on top of the moment, and then while something like that happens, they're gonna have to keep the mental pretty strong here to make sure that they stay into this, as Parse will throw it to the sideball. Gonna go for a redirect here. or I guess this sidewall read kind of a deal that will be going center though, as Nodart tries to possess it. Sorry, jumping on the opportunity immediately. Elro's gonna throw it again, and he's gonna have to stay behind it, as that will be a shot opportunity. Some 50s coming through. Blugo's gonna be the one sticking around this time, and that is gonna just keep bouncing in this Michigan corner.
Yeah, Parsay though trying to take their own AJ has to block it off. It's been good defense here from Michigan. They were clean with it. They weren't overcommitting people, and even with all the threats coming their way, even with the 3 shots coming their way, they were consistently doing their job well. Right now, though, it's the next person up. It's Nodart clearing this heavily out. It's going to be bouncing high. It's going to be Parsay meeting there, but still on Zorn Hatch. But finally, it gets its way out. It's going to be AJ hitting this out, but it's going to be Blugo cutting it off. It's going to be sticking around. It's going to be centering it. And, well, can't do much with it as Michigan finally are able to clear that ball once more.
They clear it, but they're not going to be holding on to it. They might have to do some work to do so. AJ going to try and intercept that. Does get the 50. Maybe looking for a bump. Not exactly the most high-speed bump you'll ever see, as Elro goes for the flip reset and able to follow it up with a 50.
Yeah, I mean, he's able to do something here. We've been waiting for a little while for him to step it back up, and he's able to get the second goal here, and it's a crucial one for them halfway through the game. A 2-goal deficit. I don't think we've seen any of these teams come from a 2-goal deficit yet in the series. I don't know if they even had the need to yet.
No, it's been a pretty close set match this entire way through. I feel like if we have seen a team go up by 2, well, the other team hasn't been able to find a response. So I say that it's back down to a 1-goal lead, and we've seen them come back from that. So, you know, I could be wrong.
Yeah, alright, he's not able to quite cover that, and there's a demo in the backline from Nodar, but in the end, that's a person, that's not the ball, and the ball's thing you gotta worry about there. As it's a 1-goal deficit, it's still over half the game to go technically, and Kentucky, that's a good start for them. 1 of 2. Blugo is gonna try to make it 2 of 2 here, sticking around, ceiling shot, goes past, it goes in! Well, Michigan, we were praising you for having a 2-goal lead with 2:37 left on the clock. 10 seconds later, that's all for naught.
It is. I think in that case, maybe a little too much faith in first man to grab that touch, and in that case, Blugo able to just get just enough of a shot forward to get it out of the way of that first man, and defense caught with no expectation of having to do anything.
Okay.
And, well, they're still kind of caught in their own, as they're pretty low boost operating off the backboard. AJ having to clear this out. This is going to be a touch center shot on net, and no one's ready. And 3 completely unanswered goals coming out from Kentucky.
What's happening to Michigan right now? It's just these volleys are just messing with them. It's not like they're ready for it. And now, they were 2 goals up, Nivex. It's been 30 seconds, 35 seconds since we said that. It's gone.
I don't know why you're talking to me like this is my fault, but maybe a little bit of caster cursing is coming through.
I think I cursed them. I thought I was going to mention it.
Either way, as will be sent all the way to the other side of the field. Elro, he's going to have to possess this, and very close to the ceiling. Gets the reset. He's going to pass it down to a teammate, Nodart, sending it towards the backboard. No one's there. He might get the touch. No touch coming through, and Parsay exactly where you needed to be to clear it out. This Kentucky team, they're going to take their chance to collect boost, get a touch off, and make sure Michigan can't respond in any way. Some big clears forward are making sure that Michigan are forced on defense as another double commit comes through. Missouri, he's going to take his time, does get that touch forward, opting to cancel with the stall, or not stall, but empty jump. This is going to be center. Parsay taking his time, faking out Elro, but that's going to be a little too slow. AJ might have an opportunity here. Sari able to follow that up. I kind of got caught in my own words there.
It's a double demo.
It looked like it might have been an opportunity, a big miss on the backboard, but Nodar able to clear it out.
Yeah, it's clear it out. It's going to be not quite on target. Blugo, though, light touch, gets a beat past one. AJ gets the 50. Sticking around, can get the 50 as well. It's going to be very vertical. Who's first? Blugo opts to leave, and Nodar did not have any boost. It's now Parsay's turn. It's going to be a chance here. It's going to be a chance here. They're going to try to make the most of it. Yes, they will. It's a 2-goal lead, and it's a danger. It's a threat for Michigan as their backs are on the line.
I mean, past the first 2 goals, We have not seen anything from Michigan, and it has been 4 goals non-stop from Kentucky. They want to close out the game here. They know what NA is like in Neo Tokyo. They want to capitalize on that, and I mean, Michigan has to find something in practically 30 seconds here as shots are being thrown on their net, and no one's going to be there to answer.
No one's there to answer, and suddenly it's a 3-goal deficit, and this is one that we actually haven't seen, and suddenly it's looking so hopeless here for Michigan. They gotta pull something out because whatever they had at the beginning in the first half, they've lost it.
I mean, we have to see something off of kickoff here, I feel like, and I don't think that's what it was. That is a good bump from AJ, but with that slow follow-up from Elro, they're going to have to score something off of this play right here. Nodart trying to get it center, but an immediate response. Parse able to clear it out. AJ trying to do something, and with 10 seconds left, as much as it's possible to get 3 goals in 10 seconds, it is looking like that is not going to be a possibility here. Kentucky, when it looked like they were going to go down in this game number 6, they turned it around pretty quickly, scoring 5 after Michigan's first 2 goals, and well, their only 2 goals.
There are only 2 goals, and I mean, congratulations to Kentucky. It's going to be a big victory for them, and I mean, top 6 for a play-in team. No. Wait, were they playing? No, they're a playoff team.
Yes,
sorry. Wait, they're a playoff team.
Yep. Oh, wait, were they a playoff team?
I think we were just gaslighting everyone.
I might have been gaslighting everyone.
Me when I lie.
I might have been lying.
Yeah, I mean, it's another team that makes it through. Another playoff team drops off, but it's a big congratulations we got to give to the side of Kentucky as they're able to make their way into the top 6. Something that does deserve to be praised, as that's no small feat here. And, well, they had a rough start. 4-0 against PSU in the playoffs. They're now here. But I believe, as we're talking here, I think someone's going to join us soon enough. But I think, do you have anything you want to say about this? It was an odd game.
It was a very odd game. And I very much so stand by what I said with the fact that this started turning into a game of mistakes. Right? In this case, I don't think, even with the beginning of this game 6, Michigan able to score 2, the plague of always having these moments of, 2 people thinking they need to go for it and that creating these awkward moments, it just eventually caught up to them. I do think that within some of the games they won, they were able to, develop good opportunities. And I said this earlier, AJ is the one who's going to be a facilitator. And I think he was the one at the end of the day that got most of the goals, or at least most of the goal participation for Michigan. But there needed to be a little bit more past solo efforts from everyone, because I think solo efforts reigned a little too supreme throughout these games. And at the end of the day, if it's just solo effort after solo effort, it's going to be who overcommits a little bit too much, who pushes upfield a little bit too much to try and capitalize off of these. That's going to end up getting punished. And I think that's what Kentucky saw. And within these last 2 games, they said, hey, we're going to play back a little bit. We're going to see what they're going to throw at us. They're able to take a game or 2 or something like that. They're going to be able to snag a few goals here and there, but it ended up not working in Michigan's favor, and Kentucky realized that. And, well, they were able to take the entire series.
Yeah, they're able to take the entire series here. But it does mean, I think, our bracket looks very interesting now. Because the following game after this one, for the side of Kentucky, is against a former foe. It's against Nebraska. This is the team that I believe they have lost to in the group stage. The question is, can they get their revenge now in the top 6? The reminder, the winner of that game, they go to championship Wednesday. They have a chance in the top 4 to win it all. But there's a big ask there for Kentucky because, obviously, they might have lost to CSUF Nebraska earlier today, 4-2. Make no mistake, Nebraska is not a team to take lightly.
No, they definitely are not. I mean, those were 2 pretty solid players, or I shouldn't say players, teams that were coming out of the uppers. I feel like we had some absolute titans that were coming out of uppers, and eventually they do have to filter down in this lower bracket. So it's going to be a challenge. I can say that much for Kentucky to face off against Nebraska. But why are we talking about the future when we have Blugo here to talk about the present? How do you feel after that game?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, we were a little rattled, especially by what's his name, the circus. He was really cooking us. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
AJ does
great.
that to people. But I mean, first things first, congratulations on the win there in game 6. I mean,
Thank you.
just gonna start off with that very last game. You guys were down 2-0. Very quickly, you guys were able to just score. I think it was like in about 30, 40 seconds, 2 goals, and then a third goal, and then you just spiraled it out of control. Was that just you felt confident the entire way? You knew you had that in you, or is it just one thing happened and just the momentum completely shifted?
I could say we went into that game ready to win, but as we went into game 5 and 6, we kind of changed our play style to slow it down a little bit. And you would notice in game 6 that we were playing more 50s, trying to just get it to each other slowly, making them jump, and it ended up working out for us.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's something that I definitely caught an eye on and really started to change the pace. Even though, Michigan was able to grab those first 2 goals in game number 6, y'all immediately swung back and were able to grab 5 before the clock hit 0. And absolutely beautiful. Even on the surface, it might look like a turnaround, but I feel like throughout the entire series, you could tell that there was a little bit more coming out of you guys as compared to Michigan, even though Michigan were able to, catch something here and there. Was there a decent amount of faith in that the whole way through, even though Michigan were fighting back? Was confidence decently high in that regard?
Yeah, we were scrimming before this, just trying to pick a team that we would put into this game, and that squad actually hasn't played together before in a real match. So it was nice to. It was kind of like a breath of fresh air, and we were kind of learning our play styles a little bit going into it. So it kind of felt very, not that much scoring going on, just a lot of back and forth. But obviously, toward the end there, we picked it up, and I think we're a good squad. We might be in the next one too.
Yeah, speaking of that next one, it is a familiar face for you guys. You guys will be playing Nebraska in that top 6 matchup, and simply put, it's a big one because the winner there moves on to Championship Wednesday, and it's gonna be the top 4 fight there. And I mean, obviously, you guys have lost in the past. I believe it was 3-0, I want to say.
It was
3-0. I
felt
mean, yeah. I mean, how you guys feeling? It can be different this time?
well. We've been putting in work. We're playing every day with all the guys. We got 5 or 6 guys just putting in work, playing with each other, trying to learn each other's play styles. And we have replays for Nebraska, so we might do a little replay review before the game, try and figure them out, and then we're gonna come into tomorrow like ready to kill them.
All right. Hey, that is the kind of attitude that we want to hear. All things considered,
yeah.
that is some confident talk, and I hope that really comes through because I think that matchup and is going to be really big. You guys have taken a huge journey to get here. Obviously, the immediate matchup with Penn State was a little rough, but you're swinging through this lowers with, well, a pretty good stride taking Oakwood in 4 and now Michigan in 6. I mean, I think the best thing that I can say is congratulations. You guys are doing absolutely amazing. You have a little bit of a tall task ahead of you, but nonetheless are going into it pretty strong. So we won't hold you any longer. You can go celebrate with everyone, and well, I hope we get to interview you again. Maybe we'll see you again.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, we don't think it's gonna be easy. We're not gonna take them for granted. So we'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see
Yes,
you then.
sir.
But yeah, have a good one.
Bye bye.
Yeah, and there we go. We heard from Blugo, and I mean, it's a big attitude from them. I mean, they understand that it's no easy task. They understand the weight of Nebraska. They respect Nebraska. They played them before, and I mean, you can hear just from the prep that they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're running into a lot of group matchups. Truthfully, I probably shouldn't be surprised that that is happening, but a lot of revenge opportunities because we still have a Delaware versus UFC that we're going to be looking forward to as well. So, a lot of potential that is coming out of a lot of these matchups. We have some rivalries we've seen in the past, and maybe some developing ones coming through here. But that will be everything for tonight. At least we have plenty of MCC action coming on for the rest of the week, and then the 22nd. That's going to be the day.
Going to be the day indeed. But as you said, I think that is all we have for tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We hope to see you here on Wednesday, tomorrow. And obviously, we're going to keep on reminding you, next week on Wednesday, Championship Wednesday. We got the top 4 games. We got the upper finals, lower semis, and the grand finals. But before that grand finals, there's something we want to talk to you guys about. So maybe try to catch in, especially then. But until then, we hope to see you here tomorrow for some more MCC. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night.